Okay, thank you. I know.
Obviously, you've said it's a private matter with Kyle. We appreciate and respect that, but in the past you've sat here and told us that players have to dedicate themselves to, footballers have to dedicate themselves 24/7, lead the lifestyle the right way. Is that more important than ever in the modern game to you, and particularly with senior players as well? I'm not referring to Kyle, but I mean, is it more important than ever that they lead their lives the right way off the pitch?
They know it. So have a lot of games, a lot. So that's why I had to be ready. And I never was involved, and never in the past, present, the future involved in the private issues. Everybody knows that the only place I think you are safe is inside, at home. Lock the door. The moment I lock the door, you are exposed. Today is completely different than 20 years or 20 years. A football player manages was completely different. So now we have to adapt. So they know it. So it's not what happened recent. The players knows it.
So it shouldn't be hard for high-profile players at a club like this to act in the right way in public.
You know, I answered 3 times the question, so I think it's really clear.
Sorry to ask again about Kyle, but is he available for this
Yep.
weekend, please? Right. And has he kind of reacted quite well in training this week?
Train good, yeah. Train good.
And just when you talk about the players being exposed to cameras and etc. as soon as they go out, what advice do you give them to cope with that? Because it must have an impact on their lives as well.
We have to adapt the reality. So there are cameras and everywhere, phones and everywhere. So everybody knows it. And today you are exposed 24 hours for everything. So we prefer don't live in that way, but it's what it is. So everybody knows it, and our job and for the media, attention for the media, we are and everybody is curious, and the private life doesn't exist anymore out of your home. It don't exist anymore. So you have to know it.
Hi Pep, you said Kevin needs to go back to basics after the Newcastle game. How has he been in training, and do you think he's ready for this week of 3 big fixtures?
If he's fit, always ready, Kevin. Yeah, of course, everyone is ready. So, guys, so Kevin is a thing with Gundo and John as the only players remain from the day one when we arrived. So we know each other quite well. I know him well, how important it is. So at the same time, there are moments a little bit up and downs, like happen with Phil, with with many players, and they compete with another players, and some part of the season one player can be better and the other one can be worse. So it's normal. So it just in every game it's different, and I try to decide what is the best to win this specific game. And the selection is always like that. And in these 7 years, Kevin has been Kevin and 10 more. So Kevin and 10 more all the time. And when didn't play, it was because rest or tired or injured or whatever. So that is the reality.
You've got the Champions League coming up after this game. Does that have any impact in your team selection?
Absolutely not. We're playing for the Premier League. So the most important thing is Premier League. Absolutely. Apart, we come from one long week, so we could rest, 2 days off. They train really good. So it's not about thinking about Leipzig. Crystal Palace deserve a lot of attention for what happened, for the quality. You see, only Ayew, Zaha, Eze. They have a lot of weapons up front, honestly. So the quality they have up front is unbelievable. So you have to, pay attention. A small pitch with the crowd, support the team. Anderson incredible in the build-up, in the long balls and switch of plays, and look diagonal, set pieces. So they scored 2 goals here with set pieces. So you have to, be careful. The players knows it already.
Hi, Pep. Erling Haaland's been an unbelievable success for you, scoring hatfuls of goals. We're sort of 2/3 of the way through the season now with him here. Have you had to change a lot the way you play? And if you have, is it good or bad in terms of the involvement of your team?
It's not good or bad, it's what it is, and we love him. I love him to have him. That is a reality. So, but at the end, so what he has is in some moments we, like in the past, we had Gabriel there, we had Sergio, you know, but we didn't have the attention like we were looking for a lot, you know, to him, and now we have to try to do it. So for the fact that no is there is a good target for us, and the first vision have to be like him, like before he was more right, left, right until the last moment. But sometimes when you are looking for a lot too quick, you are less precise, you lose the ball, and you allow the transitions for the opponent team. And this balance, that is what sometimes you have to find in the right way, because when he starts to run with this power, the tendency is, oh, I give the ball because he's going to score a goal. But he doesn't get it. It happened in Newcastle a few times. It's a transition for Joelinton from all the players Newcastle have. But at the same time, you have it. And at the same time, it's not just to pass, ignore him. You have to look at him, like we have done really well against Bournemouth, for example. So in this balance, it's question a little bit of time. But the results and he gives us is a lot.
Given the way the Premier League is a hard, fast, technical league, is he built for the Premier League in your football team, the way he plays?
And I would say in Germany, in Spain, in Italy, in Norway, in Congo, and and everywhere. This type of players adapt and everywhere. So in Africa, South America, no problem.
Hi, but when there are two teams at the top of the table like you and Arsenal, is it quite hard to stop your players becoming invested in what Arsenal might be doing? Because obviously last weekend you had a great result in the morning, and then at one stage on Saturday they were 2-0 down and then went back to win. Does that become a thing for players when you're in a title race like that? Do they become distracted maybe by what Arsenal are doing on different days?
Oh, of course we take a look. After do our job, you take a look and see 0-2, and after they tell you to 2, and after it's 6 minutes extra time, they score after. So, it's a pity. It would be better, a draw. Yeah. But so we have to admit we are used to, you know, for Liverpool. How many times in the previous seasons they scored in the last minutes in Anfield? How many? What way? He was one of the biggest talents for Liverpool. Scored on the last minutes. I live in the last 3-4 years when we fought against them battle and battle many times. So it's not with 12 or 13 games remain. It's just Crystal Palace. Everybody has to do. In the previous season, what was helpful is it. Well, what is next? This game have to win and wait, and this is what we have to continue to do.
Well, is it quite hard to keep that out of players' heads though? Because on Saturday in particular, you've had a good result. It should have been. It's a day where you should be celebrating, and then maybe later on in the day you feel a little bit low because of a result that may have gone your way.
You cannot imagine how good wine I drank after winning Newcastle. I was incredibly happy. I flew to Barcelona to see my wife and little daughter, and we went dinner together. So, absolutely not. I learned from my period control, the emotions control what I can control. I cannot control anything what the opponents they do. Zero. So, and after that, okay, I would be happy to drop no 1.3 points and lose 0.5, yeah. But didn't happen. Now it's relaxed 2 days, training with training sessions to prepare Crystal Palace, Leipzig and Burnley. This is what they have to do.
Pep, just out of curiosity, how do you use a full week like this one? I know the players were off to rest their minds and etc. But after that, can you implement more stuff in the training sessions? Can you use that in your favor? Because it's quite rare.
Review things that we cannot do when you play every 3 days. And actions from set pieces or actions like is more annoying or not annoying, but that you prioritize. When you have every 3 days, you prioritize one thing or to the other one. So when you have a long week, you say, okay, as long time we don't talk about that, we don't practice that. It's coming 3 days, 3 games in a short time, and after international break, April is we go through into competitions and knockout competition, the Champions League and FA Cup. Hopefully, it's going to happen. So April is so demanding as well. So that's review things that you do without losing our principles.
Do you feel more like a manager when you have time to train your team?
Yeah, of course. The last month, 5 games away, spent 10 minutes on the beach. So I don't have time to do anything.
Hi, Pep. You spoke about Patrick Vieira earlier. He's obviously having a bit of a difficult time at Palace. They've not come back brilliantly from the World Cup. But as a young, inexperienced manager, is this an important spell for him to kind of learn from these mistakes and keep developing as a manager?
I see the games I played, and they have. I don't judge the opponents about the results. So I had bad results in my career. Every match I had, it just, if I'm pretty sure the manager, the sport directors or the board from Crystal Palace support the manager. So stick with your principles, what you believe, and go, move forward.
And you've got John Stones and Aymeric Laporte back now.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the busy fixture schedule coming up. How important is it to have those defensive
absolutely,
options?
so important. Absolutely.
Because obviously Ruben and Manuel and Nathan have played a lot, haven't they?
A lot.
Offers you an opportunity to potentially rest them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, rest. I don't know if still I don't have clear. I have a big vision of the lineup, but not 100%. I want to see today the training session is going to happen, but of course, but arrive in the moment that rotation will be important, but not like it's in October, November, or September. So the guys were playing good and give me confidence. They will continue to play. So this is a little bit my feeling now.
When you were talking about De Bruyne before to Joe, you mentioned his fitness. I just want to check, is he available tomorrow?
Fitness in the past. When I didn't play in the past, it's because he was injured or was... No, he feels really, really good. At least what I saw in the training sessions.
Hi, Pep. Sorry, can I just clarify on Kyle? Have you taken the opportunity to remind him of his responsibilities at this moment? No. You don't feel the need to have done that?
No, I spoke with him, but I don't have to remember. I'm not... we're adults. I'm not a father, or I would say. I'm a friend of him. I consider after these 7 years, I know in the past many things happen. He and everyone can count on me in the personal issues. Everyone. So that's the important thing. I don't have to tell you, you have to behave in that way. Come on. So he's an adult and know, and that's all. So I'm not. But of course, I'm no with just with Carl. When everyone, I'm there. The club is there all the time, because everyone, have to feel it. In this club, we try to, when we are here inside, everyone I like to feel that they can count on us in the good and bad moments.
Thank you, guys.